It is hot, but...
Well, maybe if it stays super hot, it will keep the mosquitoes away.
Yeah, but if you keep throwing wood on it, it's gonna get hotter and hotter.
Oh, it's not so much the heat that keeps them away, it's probably the smoke. It's already getting darker every night. 21st of June and boom, starts getting dark again. Life is too fast in Minnesota. It gets dark way too fast. 4:30. So I don't think it gets as dark out in LA as fast. I think it stays pretty constant, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it also doesn't get as bright in the
At
morning
night?
or something like that.
Oh, in the morning it is early?
Yeah, it's something like that. Because we're more north, so it stays brighter longer in the summer, but it gets darker quicker in the winter. I haven't been in LA for so long, just to like do work and stuff.
Yeah, and now look at you here. And now you're making an album about LA.
I'm making an album about not liking LA.
Well, you told me growing up you were going to move out of New Prague because it was terrible. Now look at you're back in New Prague. So what do you think about that?
I feel like sometimes you have to like go experience things, and then if you don't like it, but that's essentially what all these songs are about, I guess, is that
getting out of LA?
in some form, or just like saying I hate being there, or like, I don't know. A lot of the songs touch on not really political stuff, but just I'd say more of the politics of the music business and how crappy it is that you have to do this to fit in, or you have to dress or do these types of videos to be successful. You have to kiss a lot of ass, essentially. And I got tired of it.
To make it with a record company? Or to make the video go over big on streaming?
Well, LA is like a tiny little town, so I mean, if you're not after all the parties and fitting in and doing all these, yeah, like label meetings and have a bunch of friends on Instagram that can help boost your stuff, like, it's hard. But I've been doing this myself the whole time, you know? I've been doing this since I was, like, what, 12 years old? Remember when I had that little hand recorder?
I wonder if I still got that.
I don't know, probably. But I remember like putting out songs on MySpace through that thing, and there was like sounds of you mowing the lawn in the song.
Remember that one song? What was that? California? You turned it into
California
Minnesota?
Girls.
Yeah.
By Katy Perry, yeah.
Yeah. That was probably one of your first songs.
Yeah.
So do you have all these songs done for this video already, or for this album?
Basically, I mean.
How many is it? What's the difference between an album and an EP?
An EP is basically just like a smaller set of songs. This is like an album where it's kind of all focused on one thing, and it's all kind of around the Hollywood, but also growing up in Minnesota theme, essentially. It's basically me saying, screw Los Angeles and everything that comes with it. Not that I haven't met awesome people down there and all, but it's not where I like being, and it's not where...
None of the people there are probably from LA.
Well,
all people that moved there.
Exactly.
I know. Now they're all moving out.
I know. It's actually crazy how many people you meet and they're from areas where you grew up and they moved out there. I know a lot of people that moved back though, especially lately with all this quarantine and stuff going on. People were like, it's not worth it.
Have you changed when you went to LA? And you changed when you come back to reality?
Yeah, I feel like it feels like it's almost like a fantasy land, you know? And that nothing's really real. And what you see out there is not how the rest of the world really works.
So much of that's got to be fake. There can't be that many people making that much money to be living that lifestyle. I know how many hours a week I work, and a lot of those guys are waiting tables out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only that, but I think it just changes your perception of what matters, you know? Like, everything was, when I went out there, 2016, 17, 18, like all I was really focusing on was just trying to be a rock star, you know? And getting girls and...
Well, and how many people have that same dream and go out there, and then how many actually make it happen?
Yeah.
1/100th of 1%?
Yeah.
It's sort of like all the old stories go of, you know, the country singers going to Nashville to make it and try and get on the Grand Ole Opry.
They don't make it.
But they don't make it. So many of them, then they end up waiting tables.
that's why, like, in LA, there was no new experiences. To me, it was just, you're hanging around the same people, you're going to the same clubs that everyone goes to, you're working with the same people all the time, and you see Hollywood Boulevard every day. And it's like, there's nothing inspiring here. Like, what is there to write about? Like,
But that's the other problem, though, too. If that's all you see for an environment, that's all you write about.
And no
And
one
if that's
can
all you
relate to
write
it.
about, there's only going to be 7 million people in LA that understand the song.
yeah, no
When there's
one-
a population of 350 million in the United States. So you've really closed your market if that's all you sing about is what goes on and what's important to the people in quote unquote LA, because then there's nothing else to write about.
Yeah. It's so weird. I had Andre tell me this one time. He said, my issue is that I didn't, and still sometimes don't realize how much influence I have on people.
Yeah.
And like people look up to me, and sometimes I'm just Morgan in New
Yeah,
Prague,
I don't
25 years old, still living at my parents. Like,
Right.
I don't think I'm some famous person with power over anyone.
Right.
I'm just like messing around making TikToks all day.
Right.
And it goes out to an audience of millions of people, and more people listen to my music. Even if you hate me, you're gonna go check out my songs.
So do you think, like, I still follow Meatloaf, AC/DC. I don't follow them by listening to music. So do you think your fans now that are 16 or 12 or 25 or 35, do you think 30 years from now they're going to put on one of your songs and say to their kids, hey, this is who I used to listen to? Do you think your music will stay around that long, like AC/DC, Meatloaf, Hall & Oates, everyone? Do you think your music will still hang around?
I don't know. It's weird because we're not in this. It's a different era, so I don't. Now there's so much music constantly that like, I can have a big song blow up for a year, and it gets 50 million streams, but then no. But I do think that people are gonna follow me forever. Like there's people with lyrics tatted on their arms. You know, like their kid's gonna say, "What does that mean?" And they're like, "Oh, that's an artist that I listen to. You should check him out." So yeah, I think I'm someone that people will look back on and be like, "This guy helped me when I was younger," and hopefully show their kids, and then I do the same for them.
Oh, I'll throw another piece of wood on the fire.